Uh, Good morning, students. We shall discuss a new topic, that is potential energy method. Okay, so here in this potential energy method, which use it is one of the variation principle in order to determine the approximate solution. Okay, if you want to determine approximate solution of a problem, we make use of this potential energy method. So the total potential energy of an elastic body we can define as sum of strain energy and work potential. So let me write that. That is total potential energy. Total potential energy is given by sum of strain energy. Okay, strain energy plus work potential. Work potential. So in simple way, I will represent in this way, that is SE plus work potential. Okay. Now what shall we do? We shall consider a three-dimensional elastic body of volume V. So we shall consider a three-dimensional elastic body, okay, of volume V, V, subjected to body force. Okay, body force represented by F. Okay, and followed with, it will be subjected to surface force, comma, surface force. It is also called by the traction force, okay, represented by T, and point load. So point load represented by P. Okay, and when I subject, see, if that particular body force is subjected to all forms of force, then there will be a displacement. We know that U comma V comma W are the displacements in X, Y and Z direction. Okay, so these are all the displacements in X, Y, Z direction. Now we know that the potential energy equation, that is equal to, potential energy is given by SE plus work potential. Okay, so now strain energy. So strain energy is given by uh, the strain energy is given by the formula. We know that uh, that is equal to half sigma T into epsilon dV. Okay, this is the formula for the strain energy uh, into volume. Okay, that is represented by V. uh, so this is for, in case if we are considering a small part of that particular element, that is for a small element of volume dV, the strain energy is given by SE is equal to half into sigma transpose, okay, epsilon dV. And if I want to implement the same for entire body, then the integration will come into picture. The same will be written as half integration of volume I will consider to the entire body, sigma T epsilon dV. Okay, this is the formula. So where you should understand sigma transpose is nothing but the 6 stress component in X, in Y, in Z direction. This is the normal stress, and shear stress in XY, followed with the next two, YZ and ZX. Okay, these are the 6 stress component. So now we shall understand based on the work potential. So we know that the three forms of force is acting: body, traction and point load. Okay, so let me write the first one: work potential due to body force. Work potential due to body force. So it is given by for a small element the work potential due to body force in xyz direction, that is work potential is equal to negative of fx into u plus fy into v plus fz into w. Okay, that into dv. Okay, so this is the work potential that is given by, and I can rewrite the same as work potential is equal to, for the entire body, then I should integrate v fx into u plus fy into v plus fz into w whole multiplied by dv. So this is for entire body. In simple term, I can represent this as minus v into u transpose multiplied by f dv. What is this u transpose? Nothing but the displacement in u comma v and w, and f is nothing but the force, traction force acting in x, traction force acting in y, traction force is acting in z. So the negative represent it is as a external force. And so this is for work potential due to body force. And we have one more, that is second one, that is work potential due to surface, or you can also represent the name traction force. Okay, when I consider this, the formula will be the same way, work potential negative sign, and we have the formula that is Tx into u plus Ty into v plus Tz into w. So when I consider the entire body, then the work potential is given by, so work potential that is equal to integration, when I will consider volume, same I will write Tx into u plus Ty into v plus Tz into w. And this thing I can write in simple way, work potential is equal to negative of volume u transpose into T. So let me consider, when I consider work potential, it will be acting on the surface, I should represent ds. Okay, that is into ds. So previous one it was dv, considering volume it is ds. Same way ut representing the displacement, T matrix representing the traction force in xyz. So let me consider the last one. I will take a new page. So three forms of force. The last one is work potential due to point load. Okay, under this point load, work potential is equal to minus px into u plus py into v plus pz into w. So this is the work potential. Now we can understand that this can be written my u t into p. Okay, so this is nothing but the simple representation, u t representing the displacement, p representing point load. Okay, so here I can write this entirely as work potential is equal to minus summation of u t I and p I. What is this I? I represents number of point loads. Number of point loads. Okay, so if I combine this 1 2 3 in the given equation, so given equation, if I scroll down, you can see that so we have identified the second part. Okay, strain energy, we know that is strain energy is equal to half into volume sigma transpose epsilon dv, and work potential we have identified. So if I consider this as 1 and this as 2 followed with this as 3 and 4, and the next one as fifth one. Okay, if I substitute this one as fifth one, if I substitute 2 3 4 5 in 1, so then my final equation will be, let me write my work potential first. Work potential is nothing but, I should consider all body force, traction and point load, that is given by minus integration of V U transpose F dV. Okay, next I will write a bracket here, minus plus, when I take a minus, I will be having plus integration of S, so surface force ut t into ds. Finally, so this is not acting on body, so we shall consider entire volume is not required. So here it will be summation of u transpose I p pi. Okay, so where I is equal to 1 to n depending on the number of point loads. So let me check whether I have taken the right. So this is, yes, let me change that. It is acting on the surface. Okay, so this is the work potential. So final substitution, when I substitute this particular equation in 1, so pi is equal to, so that is potential energy is equal to half into integration of entire volume sigma t epsilon dV minus of, okay, so work potential due to the body force. So here I will consider volume U transpose F into dV, and work potential due to the traction force. So when I consider traction, it will act on the surface. It is a two-dimensional, that is S, followed with, I will be having U transpose T into ds. Finally, point load I is equal to 1 to n U transpose into pi. So this is the equation. This is an expression for potential energy functional for three-dimensional body. Okay, expression for potential energy functional for three-dimensional body. Okay, now when I consider, so this is a potential energy method. First, what we have discussed was displacement method. This is potential energy method. Here we have one more important concept that we should understand, that is principle of minimum potential energy. So it states that, see, I will just read out the statement, the principle of minimum potential energy, that is, of all the displacement configuration a body can assume which satisfy compatibility condition and boundary conditions, the configuration which satisfying equilibrium condition is one which will have minimum potential energy. So based on the definition, it is a bit difficult to understand, so I will give you the simple example where we have two bodies. Okay, body 1 and body 2. Okay, let me call this as A and this as B of same weight. Okay, and let me mark the ground. So this is the ground. Now you can see that the difference in height, we have a difference in height, so that is, this is h1 height which is more than this h2. Okay, Now I can tell you that H1 is greater than H2. Okay, so here we are considering two body, that is A and B, which has the same weight, which will be falling through the different heights, that is H1 and H2. And here it will satisfy the boundary condition. Okay, whatever the boundary condition and the compatibility condition, so it is satisfying. Okay, same way there will be a problem. The given problem will be satisfying the two condition. One is compatibility condition, and one more is for both body are satisfying these two conditions. Okay, now when we check out of these two bodies, the body which has minimum potential energy is B. How? Here we can understand that the height it make a primary role. So the potential energy will be more for this A than B, and the minimum potential energy it states. Okay, if it is satisfying both compatibility and boundary condition, and you should check which body, which part will come into the equilibrium first. So when I ask you such question, is it A or B? So the answer is obviously B. So the B body will come into the equilibrium state earlier than B. When I compare with A, so B will come into the equilibrium position. So that is what it states. Okay. So that is, we call that as principle of minimum potential energy. Uh, so that is all about this simple derivation that is based on the potential energy method. And again we have other two forms, that is Rayleigh-Ritz method and Galerkin's method, and we have several steps to solve that. So let me stop my video here.